Hey, what up, guys? True Boxing. Welcome back to Getting Hit with the Truth. I appreciate you guys watching my video. This one is the Shut the Fuck Up on Adrien Broner, the former four division world champion. Broner returned last Saturday, February 20th, when he main evented a Showtime card. And he took on, what's his name? Jovian Santiago, an undefeated unknown. Before we get into why Adrien Broner needs to shut the fuck up, I want to go into a couple, I want to just say, hey guys, if you like my page, you like my channel, give me a thumbs up, show me some love. If you don't, give me a thumbs down. I'm okay with that. I like the feedback, any feedback, only pumps me up to do it even more. But there's that, and leave a comment, positive, negative. I'm willing to chop it up with you guys and talk boxing. My goal is to get the information out there, and subscribe to my channel if you really dig it, because I'm all about facts and the information. So all that being said, let's see why Adrien Broner needs to shut the fuck up, okay? So, where do I start with this fool? But, this guy's been, pretty much a joke to the sport for quite a few years now. It's been a while since Adrien Broner's been taken serious. He had just the most recent, prior to this fight, the biggest joke was the fight with Pacquiao, obviously, where he just pretty much showed up to collect the $10 million check, because he didn't really fight in that one. He didn't really go for it. Not that I thought he would beat Pacquiao even if he did go for it, but he didn't even try in that fight. He showed up to collect the check. That's all he did. This guy's always had personal issues that have bogged him down. Think he got a little too big on himself early, which, it happens. That happens to a lot of fighters. But Broner just has a lot of personal issues. I think he has some mental issues going on that make him a joke to the sport. He really is a disgrace, in my opinion. I've been saying it for the longest time. I have no respect for this guy because he doesn't respect the sport. Now, that for me, it's about just respecting the sport, loving it and respecting it. And once again, he has proven why he has no respect for the sport, and that people shouldn't believe in him, really being a threat again. Because first I heard about this fight, I was like, all right, so what? Broner's coming back. Especially when Jovian Santiago, who's not a known fighter, got announced as his opponent. It was like, okay, whatever. The guy's a nobody. But then I raised my eyebrows when I heard the fight was taking place at 140. I went, this guy hasn't really ever been on point at 140 pounds. Every time he's supposed to weigh in at 140, he never does. He always misses weight. That's always his goal weight, but he never makes weight. And at 147, he's just never been effective. He's never been, legitimate. He came in, he won the title against Paulie Malignaggi, but it was an older Paulie Malignaggi. And to my opinion, Paulie Malignaggi was never a truly great fighter anyways. And at 147, especially at that time period, it was a close fight. Most great fighters were dominating Malignaggi, and Broner in his first fight at welterweight took on Malignaggi and got a close decision win. There was a lot of people that thought Malignaggi won that fight too. It was a good competitive fight, but all that being said, he won the title in a fourth. I think that was his third weight class, because he jumped up 2 weight classes. But anyways. After that, nobody in the loss to Marcos Maidana, after that, I don't really think Broner was ever a serious threat again on anybody's from anybody's standpoint. The guy has just always, had domestic issues. He wanted to become a rapper. He wanted this, he wanted that, and it just nothing ever seems to work out for the guy. But especially in the ring, every time he gets back in the ring, it's like, he's had some competitive bouts. Adrian Granados was a good one, but Granados is not seen to be upper tier. Jesse Vargas, as much as I like Vargas, he's not considered to be an upper tier fighter. So, and, Broner barely got by both of those guys in controversial close fights like this one with Santiago was. But again, back to the Santiago fight, the fact that he was supposed to be 140 pounds going in, I went, this guy has never cleanly made 140 outside of maybe the first couple times he fought there. The last time that I can remember he cleanly made 140, and it wasn't clean, but that he made it without missing weight, was the Mikey Garcia fight. And for that one, the reason he even came in on weight is because um, I think he was in lieu of a big, big fine to Mikey Garcia if he missed weight there, because Mikey was coming up from 135. So that was a big deal with Broner coming down from 147, that Broner had to make weight. And if he didn't, would have been a huge fine. So he made weight, but he looked sluggish in that one. He got his ass whipped against Mikey. Didn't look like he took the fight serious again, but it looked like he was also kind of depleted having to make 140. So again, I really was, is he going to make the weight? Then the day before the weigh-in, he agrees with the Santiago camp, and to keep things fair, Santiago was probably going to miss weight too, according to the report I read. And I know that's going to be Broner's excuse. Oh, well, he was going to miss weight too, so I just figured, what's that got to do with you making weight is what I want to know. And this is why I can't stand Broner. This is why he needs to shut the fuck up and go away, because it's always an excuse. Always an excuse. Then he gets in the ring. And, these guys came in under the 147 weight. So, and, it's just a subpar performance, and at this point, even at this point, just coming back, fighting a guy like Jovian Santiago, Broner turned it on in the second half of the fight. He fought better than he did the first half of the fight, but he really got outlanded by a lot of punches that can make you argue that Santiago won the fight. Personally, I don't like Broner, so I wasn't surprised at anything. I really didn't pay close attention to that fight. I watched a little bit of it, but I mean, I looked at the numbers. Santiago, a lot more punches landed. Broner, I did feel was landing the better punches during the part of the fight that I saw, which was pretty much the second half of the fight. And I just wasn't impressed. And then he comes out and says, "Oh, it was because he had to be in the bubble. Why he couldn't make weight?" Nah, it's just a fucking bunch of excuses. I mean, Adrien Broner, shut the fuck up, man. Until this guy takes it serious, really takes it serious, and is not just showing up to collect a paycheck, I don't care what he does. And you know what? I'm not alone. Adrien Broner before, huge name, right? He main events this show, huge name. But I just saw right before I jumped on this video, I read a little bit more. This guy barely did almost 300,000 views on Showtime for his fight. That's all he did. This was a guy that used to average way more than that, and made pay-per-view with Pacquiao, So I think people are over it with Broner. I don't think they care. And I don't know if people are going to really tune in until this guy really sets his feet in the stone and takes it serious. And he's got to make 140 to do that. I think the only way this guy could ever make a comeback and be competitive would be at 140 pounds, because 147 just has not worked out for him. He doesn't throw enough punches, and he doesn't play defense very well anymore. He thinks he can roll that shoulder and stuff, but, he still has his skill set. He's still solid, but he's just not what we thought he was going to be. And if he really wants to be effective, maybe become a world champion again, it's going to have to be at 140 pounds. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So that means he's got to make weight. And I just don't know if he can securely make 140 with his discipline. He has none. He just doesn't have discipline. 147, he's not going to be competitive. He's just not. He'll sell tickets. He'll be the B-side going into fights against the bigger names, but he's going to get his ass whipped. Almost every time he steps in against a top 10 guy, he's going to get his ass whipped, plain and simple. I wouldn't bet on him against any of the top 10 guys to even be a close fight with any of the top 10 guys. I'd bet him to lose convincingly to every guy in the top 10 right now, including Josecito Lopez, who's in my top 10. So I just don't see Broner being the Broner of old. Maybe he gets his shit together. He says he wants to fight another 2 times this year. He says the next fight he doesn't want it to be against Regis Prograis, but I don't think he'll get drawn into a Prograis fight next. Maybe late in the year, maybe early next year, But I think for now, if he's going to fight, he's got to get that discipline under control and slow roll it into being able to make that 140 weight if he does. But I really hope Adrien Broner just shuts the fuck up and goes away. I can't stand him, and I'm just tired of him. And if he's just going to collect the check, then stop main eventing him. Showtime and the PBC needs to stop having faith in this guy. Stop putting him in main event fights unless he's going to step up and fight world-class competition, really good competition. But other than that, don't put him in against your Jovian Santiago's anymore. This guy just doesn't deserve it. He's a joke to the sport. He's a disgrace. And, you know, he wouldn't be the first, and he definitely won't be the last, but people need to wise up. They need to wise up and put Adrien Broner in his place. And maybe this performance, maybe missing weight can do that, but given his track record and his history, I don't think so. So, in closing, once again, shut the fuck up, Adrien Broner. I'm sick of you. Go away, retire, or just do whatever you're going to do. Do your thing, but stay out of the big picture because you're nothing anymore. So that's my opinion. I hope you guys enjoyed this. True Boxing. You've been hit with the truth.